Hi guys, welcome back to the final session of Created. Thank you for sticking with it for so long. I'm super excited about today. We're going to do something really fun. It's going to be a little bit more messy than the other ones we've done so far. So throughout the week, we've been looking at some healthy coping strategies to help us deal with intense emotional feelings and help us deal with anxiety. We've been looking at those mainly on the Zoom sessions. And today we're going to learn about one specific breathing technique that's really helpful called the square breathing technique. Now I'll get into that a little bit later, but before we start, what you're going to need today is this little black bit of foam, and you have to go and find, this isn't in your box, go and find a piece of cardboard. So the cardboard can be a bit of cardboard from an Amazon box, even a cereal box. The sturdier it is, the better, roughly this size. So go and find that. Also find yourself a plate. Normal dinner plate will be fine. I'm using a paper plate. You're just going to have to wash it afterwards if it's a regular dinner plate, but find yourself a piece of cardboard and a plate, and then we can get started. Okay, so what we need to make is we need to make something that we can use to later on scrape the shaving foam off of the paper. So to do that, all you need to do is find a piece of cardboard, roughly this size, it doesn't matter too much. Place your little bit of black foam onto it, shift it down a little bit so that it sticks out the bottom roughly 1 centimeter. So you can see here it overlaps slightly. Then you want to fold this bit over like that. And now when you have a look, what you'll have is a little bit that sticks out here, which is like a squeegee. Now, if it sticks out too much, like mine is sticking out a little bit too much, just take a pair of scissors and cut a little bit off of this bit. Do it as straight as possible, just so that it sticks out just about 1 centimeter, so that when you pull it, it just takes everything off in one smooth motion. Now, all you do is you take your masking tape, hold that down in place, and you just tape it. And then we have it, a little scraper. Alright guys, now that you've made your squeegee tool, we can start making the actual artwork for today. So we are going to be making an ink marble effect. So what you're going to need is these little tubes of gel ink. You might have 2, you might have 3. This little roll of miniature masking tape. You're going to need your paper and the skewer and the shaving foam. We're going to be using that today. Alright, now to make this artwork, the first step you need to do is pull a page out of your paper book. Set that aside. Now you need to tape a perfect square as best as you can in the center of here. You can make it big, you can make it small, totally up to you, but try and tape as best you can, as neatly as you can, a square. Okay, so if it's not perfect, don't worry, just do it as neat as you can. Now that you have a square taped off in the middle, we can get started with the shaving foam. So get your plate down, give this a good shake, and now just go crazy and cover the whole plate in shaving foam. Okay, now that your plate's covered in shaving foam, roll up your sleeves because it might get messy. Now, take your finger and smooth out the shaving foam to make as level and smooth a surface as you can. Alright, now I actually took a piece of paper and scraped it over to make sure it's even more flat. Next up, take your ink gels, and now you're going to lightly swirl the ink gel onto here. Don't use too much, but don't be scared. Just squeeze it out all over your shaving foam. Now take your skewer and start to make little swirls all around in the shaving foam. Now take your piece of paper and gently lay it over the top and press down just a little bit to make sure that it all gets in contact with that ink gel. Now all you need to do is lift this up and then let it sit and dry for about 5 minutes. Alright guys, so I've just gone and put a little bit of paper underneath this because I didn't want to get any ink on the table. So after waiting for a little bit, all you're going to do is take your squeegee tool, put it on one end, grip the paper and just scrape it off. Now, you can see I made a mistake here. If there's ridges on your page, what you need to do, flip your squeegee around, run it the other way. Now, because I did my squeegee the wrong way around, mine's come out a little bit messy, so make sure you don't make that mistake. Make sure that the ridges of your squeegee are facing upwards when you scrape. Don't let your ridges face downwards. I did that and mine came out a little bit of a mess. So now all you do, you let this sit for a few minutes, then you pull off your tape, which will reveal a nice square in the middle. Hopefully yours will look much nicer than mine does. If yours looks a little bit messy first try, all you do, you take your scraper, scrape off some of this excess ink, add a little bit more foam on top, and you can start again. Then when you have one you're happy with, save that one, and then later on today, I'm going to be talking you guys through a breathing technique called the square breathing technique, and that's when this will all make sense, and I'll explain later on Zoom, so don't miss it. Now, after you've done this activity, you would have seen in your pack there's a frame. The frame is so that you can choose your favorite work of art over the last 5 days and frame it and keep it as a reminder of the emotional well-being lesson you learned from it. So let me clear this up, then I'm going to show you how to frame your favorite piece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to frame our favorite piece of art from this week. Now my favorite one is this crazy face, and in this session we learn about identifying emotions. Now in order to frame it, what you're going to do is flip your frame upside down, and you have to pry away these little black clips on the sides. What's useful to use is a spoon. Just push it under, lift it up and push it back. Now inside here you'll see a bit of clear plastic. What you'll need to do is peel away the blue film. But before you do that, you need to make sure that your art piece fits. So take it, put it upside down inside and see if it fits nice and snug. Now I can see already mine is a little bit big in this way, so I need to trim off just a millimeter off one of the sides. So you can see in order for it to fit in, I just had to trim off this little thin little bit. So now that your piece of art fits inside, take that off and peel away the blue film. Now after you've peeled the film off, be careful not to touch the glass on the inside, because then you'll get your fingerprints on there. Now take your art piece, put it in upside down, place the backing board back on top, press the little clips back down. Like I said, you can use a spoon, press it down. What you have now is a beautiful piece of art that you can put up in your room, put it up wherever you like, as a reminder of the lesson we learned when we did this session. Alright guys, make sure you join us on the Zoom session at 4 p.m. today to learn about the square breathing technique. Really powerful technique to help you cope when things feel like they're getting really overwhelming. So join us at 4 p.m. on Zoom. If you haven't joined us yet this week, it's not too late. Please join us. So today you would have done your square marbling artwork and framed your favorite piece. I'd love to see later on how it turned out and to see which you picked as your favorite piece. So I'll see you guys on Zoom at 4 o'clock, and this is the last session. So be there. It's going to be awesome. See you guys later.